I wasn't expecting this from Emmerdale next week, not all at once. And I don't say this lightly, but it feels like the dam's about to burst. Secrets come out, old flames reignite, and one character's got a decision that could change everything, not just for them, but for people they love. We've got hidden injuries, surprise proposals, a messy love triangle, and one very worrying fall. Let's get into it. Here are your 7 Emmerdale spoilers for the week of Monday 4th August to Friday 8th August 2025. 1. Dullin's cover is blown, and Ray's still pulling the strings. Now this one's hard to watch. Dylan's been trying to keep his head down after that mask break in at Butler's. But next week, it all catches up with him. April's doing her best to help, sneaking him into the vet's surgery when his leg gets worse. And bless Paddy, he doesn't even blink before jumping in to help once he clocks what's going on. But the second Dylan sets foot in Tennant's, it's like the past comes knocking. Mandy and Marlon walk in and it's all tension. You can see it on Marlon's face, the worry, the disappointment, the whole "not my daughter's friend" thing. Here's the twist though, Dylan's still in touch with Ray Walters. And while he's ignoring Ray's calls and trying to stay clean, he's got stashes of gear in his rucksack. So the question becomes, is Dylan really free, or just trading one prison for another? Ray's keeping an eye on him too, lurking in the background. Dylan wants out, but Ray's clearly not letting go that easily. If this explodes, Kyle's in the firing line too, and so's April. It's messy. 2. Robert tries to make peace, but John's still got the upper hand meanwhile. Robert's feeling like he's lost control of everything. Last week's punch up with John. It's not over, not really. John says he won't go to the police, but behind closed doors, he's saved the dashcam footage. So Robert's apology might not mean much if John decides to play dirty. Still, Robert's trying. He reaches out to Aaron, hopes they can fix things. And to be fair, there's a flicker Aaron tells him he's still valued. It's not a full-on reunion, but it's something. But then comes Moira, and she is fuming. She finds out Robert nearly sold Annie's field to Kim Tate and confronts him, and Robert, he has the nerve to turn it into a pitch. Says he wants to farm it together with Victoria. Is he serious? Or is this just Robert being Robert again, trying to clean up a lie by wrapping it in nostalgia? Either way, Vic's suspicious, and honestly, who can blame her? 3. Lewis plays Cupid and Steph ends up back in Ross's bed now. If you fancy something a bit lighter, well, sort of, Lewis is stirring the pot again. After clocking that his half-brother Ross used to have a thing with Steph, Lewis ropes in Ruby to play matchmaker. And surprise, surprise, the plan works. Steph's car breaks down, Ross gives her a lift, and next thing you know, they're back at Mill Cottage, picking up where they left off. Steph suggests they take it upstairs, and Ross doesn't need telling twice. By the next morning, they're officially back on. But here's the thing, Ross says he hasn't been with anyone else since they broke up. That's not exactly true, is it? Because there's one person who knows otherwise, and she might not keep quiet for long. 4. Manpreet wrestles with a secret of her own. Yep, I'm talking about Manpreet. She's sat in a cafe, gossiping with Ruby and Lewis, trying to brush off their questions about her love life, but it's clear she's holding something back. Turns out, she had a one-night stand with Ross back when he and Steph had split. Nothing serious, but enough to raise a few eyebrows, especially if it slips out now. Steph's just patched things up with Ross. Ruby's in matchmaking mode, and Lewis, well, he loves a juicy bit of gossip. So now Manpreet's in a pickle. Does she say something and risk blowing it all up? Or does she keep it to herself and hope it never comes out? Either way, you can see she's kicking herself. And later in the week, she opens up to Vanessa, both of them feeling a bit bruised by love. It's those little, quiet scenes that get you, isn't it? Proper heart-to-hearts between characters who've been through it. If you're still with me and enjoying the spoilers so far, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button and give the video a like. And leave a comment with your predictions. I read every single one. Let's see who gets it right this week. Right, let's get back to it. 5. Charity suffers a fall and hides it from everyone. Charity's really been holding it together lately, hasn't she? carrying Sarah and Jacob's embryo, trying to make everything perfect, even throwing herself into organizing their engagement party. She's trying to be the strong one, the fixer. Classic Charity. But underneath it all, you can tell she's carrying the weight of the world. And when she takes that fall during a quiet walk with Mac, that's the moment things start to wobble. She brushes it off like nothing happened. Typical Charity, right? Doesn't want to make a fuss, definitely doesn't want Sarah worrying. But that silence is dangerous. Because while everyone's celebrating around her, she sneaks off and tells Vanessa what's really going on. She's been bleeding. And just like that, the brave face slips. All that strength, all that front, it's fear now. Real, raw fear. Vanessa, bless her, is exactly who you'd want in that moment. Calm, steady, no judgment. But even then, you can tell Charity's spiraling. She doesn't want to ruin the party, doesn't want to be the one who brings bad news. But let's be honest. That kind of worry doesn't just go away. She knows what's at stake here, not just for her, but for Sarah and Jacob too. And the guilt's already creeping in. Mac's doing his best to be there for her, promising support, saying all the right things, and maybe part of him means it. But after everything they've been through, the lies, the losses, there's still a gap between them. You can see Charity questioning whether she's messed everything up again. Not just the pregnancy, but the family she's been trying so hard to protect. And here's the thing. If Sarah finds out Charity's been hiding this, it could really damage the trust between them. Especially with everything Sarah's already been through medically, this could lead to a big fallout, depending on how things play out. And viewers are going to have strong opinions on this one. Is Charity doing the right thing keeping quiet, or should Sarah have known straight away? Either way, it's going to hurt. 6. Vinny starts questioning everything and takes a risky step. Vinny's clearly trying to play the part of the happy groom, but you don't have to look too hard to see he's struggling. Gabby's cracking on with wedding prep. Mandy's over the moon. But Vinny's head's somewhere completely different. Ever since that almost kiss with Cammy, he's been in a bit of a spiral. It's not just cold feet, it's something deeper. He's genuinely starting to question who he is and what he really wants. That moment at the scrapyard, when Cammy gives him the watch, you can see how much it throws him. It's a lovely gesture, but it rattles him because it's loaded, not just friendship, but something more. Vinny tries to shrug it off, but you can read it all over his face. It's awkward, it's tender, and it's tense. You can't fake your way through those kinds of feelings. And that's exactly what he's trying to do. Then there's Aaron. Now Aaron gets it. He's been there. And that conversation between them is actually quite moving. Aaron admitting he kissed Robert on his wedding day. That's a big moment. And maybe it helps Vinny feel less alone for a second. But Aaron telling him to keep it quiet from Gabby. That's where things get murky. You can tell Vinny doesn't feel right about lying, even if it's to avoid hurting someone. So what does he do? Starts scrolling late at night looking for clarity online, which is something a lot of people will relate to. But then he goes a step further and actually arranges to meet someone he's been chatting to. That's not just curiosity anymore, that's action. And it shows just how desperate he is for answers. He doesn't want to hurt Gabby, but he also knows he's not being honest with her or himself. And this is where it could really explode. If Gabby finds out, especially so close to the wedding, it's going to crush her. And if Vinny keeps trying to push this part of himself down, it'll only cause more damage in the long run. It's a crossroads moment. He either confronts this head on or risks dragging everyone through a painful mess. One way or another, this isn't something he can keep burying. 7. Belle gets news that could finally close a chapter. And finally, we've got Belle. She's been through it, hasn't she? And just when things start to settle, Lydia hands her a letter in the cafe from the Houghton family court. It looks like it might be confirmation that her divorce from Tom has gone through. Nothing's confirmed yet, but if it is what it looks like, this could be the first real step towards closure for Belle. The emotional weight of that relationship, everything he did to her, it's been hanging over her for so long. It's only a short moment, but it could be a powerful one. Viewers might remember how trapped Belle was, how much she doubted herself. To see her start to truly break free, that could mean everything. So there you have it, 7 big spoilers that could shift the whole landscape in Emmerdale next week. Dylan's hanging by a thread, Robert's losing grip, Charity's hiding something heartbreaking, and Vinny, well, he might be on the verge of a life-changing realization. It's one of those weeks where everything's connected. One slip, one secret, and the whole house of cards could come down. Now I want to hear from you. Will Charity tell Sarah the truth? Can Dylan really get away from Ray? And what do you reckon Vinny's going to do? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you're still hooked on Emmerdale, and subscribe if you haven't already. There's loads more to come. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week for even more soap spoilers. And trust me, things are only getting messier from here.